Welcome to principle number 3 of the 4 principles of being a terrific dad. Principle number 1 is about being respectful. Respectful of yourself, of your wife, your children, limitations, your needs, your strengths, your gifts. What do you need? What do they need to feel that be at their best? What are their strengths? What are the gifts they can contribute? What can you gain and learn from them? How can you grow from them? How can they grow from you? So being respectful of all those things is the key to creating a relationship. Without being respectful, you cannot have a relationship. Oh, maybe if you're a boss and you hire somebody and, they have to have no choice. They got to work. They got to do what they tell them to do because otherwise they don't get paid. That's not a relationship. But if you have a relationship, that requires being respectful and being respectable. You can't expect your kids to respect you if you're not acting according to how you're not practicing what you preach. If you're not acting, walking your talk, you're not doing what you say you do it's going to they'll see right through it. They lose respect for you as a father. Because they need the father to be strong and consistent, clear, reliable, dependable. They want to know they can lean on you. They will see you as the captain of the ship. And that's the job of the father. And that's how it works all the time. And so they need the father to be respectable. They want to look up to you. They want to look up to their fathers. All kids do. And then, many stories, my father's stronger, faster, whatever is than your father, whatever the story may be. We all know how kids are, sharing stories of whose father is bigger. They want to look up to your dad, to their dad. They need to be respectable. It's hard sometimes. And then in the second presentation, we talked about being mindful. You want to have a harmonious relationship. A relationship is one thing. You have a harmonious relationship. A relationship was full of harmony and love and things are working well and people are, you don't want that stress and aggravation and irritation. You want to have it smoother. You want to have a nice harmonious life. Not perfect and not like a calm all the time. I get that, but you want to have harmony in the family. Be mindful. Mindful of what you say, think, and do, how it affects your family. I mean, you had a bad day, a hard day. They don't care. They want you to be there for them. They need you. They need us to be there for them. We all have bad days. We all have times when, or even periods of time when things aren't looking so good. Everyone goes through that. But you be mindful of how you affect your environment and your kids being around you. You'll come home. Back in the old days, we had TV screens, watch the TV, and we all shared the screen, looking at the same screen together, and a little interaction between whatever it is, and make comments and just share the experience. Nowadays, with the cell phone, we're looking at the phone, but ourselves is all about us, and they're cut out. You totally block them out of your life looking at your screen by yourself. Yeah, that's right. It's miserable to be someone who's ignoring you. You're mindful. You know what's going on. So being mindful of how you affect everyone around you, your thoughts, even your thoughts. You're thinking loving thoughts. You're thinking, oh my gosh, disastrous thoughts. Whatever's going on, you got to be mindful and develop mindfulness, become more and more attuned to how you affect others and how you can affect them even better and create harmony in your life, in your home. And then you're becoming a man of a family that is just someplace to want to be. The third principle today, we're talking about clarity. Clarity, act of being clear what your values are, what your goals are, expectations are, just being clear. So when you're clear, you can what you're about. If you're not clear, it's miserable. If you want to communicate who you are, you have goals to achieve, desired outcomes, dreams, whatever it is, but you got to be clear on what they are. So you can communicate them, you can express them. So you must know what are your values, what are your beliefs, what are you all about. You have to go to beaterricdad.com and take the course, and there's a whole section on values. Values is about what are you about, not about what the world's about, but you. Who are you, the man? Who are the man what are your values? What are your beliefs? And when you have them clear, they are in alignment with your expectations, with what your goals are. And you have to be clear. You have to clear what is important. What is so important? It is not for sale. It's not for sale. It could be honesty. I'm honest, even though it may hurt, even though you get caught. You know what? Yes, officer, I was speeding. Yeah, admit it, own it. Being clear, when you have your values are, I'm being honest, or perhaps your the value is being loyal to your family, to your spouse. I mean, no, I mean, temptations in the world. You don't want to give in to temptation. I'm sorry. I'm a married man. I'm a committed man. I'm sorry. I can't involve myself in anything else. It takes me away from that commitment, from that value, the value of integrity. I say I will, therefore I will. I won't, therefore I won't. You can count on me. I was talking to a young fellow recently. Fellow had 2 job offers. First came through, good deal. Okay, I'll be there on the starting date. Second offer came by, offering a good deal too. He was wondering, what do I do? You know what he does? I told him, you be a man of your word. You have your values, right? Clarity. You're clear in your values. Integrity is one of them, right? That's right. You told the guy you'll be there, right? Right. Where are you going to be on Tuesday morning? I'll be there. That's right. Because you got to keep your values of who you are. Your word has got to be golden. Got to be, someone I can count on, rely on. Now I get clarity when you're clear of what you're all about. You got to ask questions. You got to ask a lot of questions in getting clarity. It's not so easy. So someone just glibly throw them out. Think about it. Write these things down. Go deep in terms of what are the outcomes you desire and the means to achieve those goals. See, your values will determine how you will achieve those goals, what you will do, what you will not do, where you will go, where you will not go. Your values will determine how you're going to achieve your goals. And it may happen you can't achieve your goals because your values are so strong. That can happen. You can feel that your values are getting in the way of achieving your goals. But you'll find out, you go through life, you'll find out that your values, even though they got in the way of achieving a certain goal, are far more important than those goals. Far more important. Because it defines the man, who you are, who we can rely on, who we can look up to. Who is this man that this giant in your kid's eyes? Yeah, my dad didn't do such and such, but he was a man of his word, a man of integrity. And we honor him, we admire him. That's what happens. When you're clear in your values, clear, your kids can admire you. They're going to look up to you. They're going to follow in your footsteps. You're going to create a very special, high level of life because of your values. So imagine you're driving, you're a passenger in a car. You're going someplace and the driver is going north. Great, I'm going north too. Great, got a ride. Someone give me a ride. And all of a sudden you realize he's just driving here and there and just driving along. He says, well, where are you going? I don't know, I'm just driving. What are you just driving? I got a place to go, people to see, things to do. You said you're going to, yeah, listen, we're driving. We'll go. Get there eventually. Oh, maybe today, tomorrow. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. Well, we're going. How are you going to feel? Totally depend on this guy who's driving, has no idea where he's going. You don't know where he's going, and you have someplace to go. You have goals, something you want to do. What are you going to do? How do you feel about that situation? That's how your kids feel. That's how your kids feel when you don't know where you're going, which direction, what your values, what you're about, what your dreams are. You're not clear on this stuff. That's how your kids feel. Like captain the boat doesn't know where he's driving. Your values are never negotiable. And when you have that, their kids are so secure. They're so direct. They feel, we know what we're about. We know what we're about. And they don't know what you're about. It's unsettling at best. It's unsettling. It's disappointing. Make up stories. Eventually become resentful. Become angry, start acting out. And then we see troubled kids. Troubled kids because their fathers are just not there. Not honest. Not integrity. Not clear. Does this, does that, does this, does that, then back and forth and that. You can be a terrific dad. And now I'm not saying so many things happen to people. Things happen sometimes. And yeah, you end up, your plans are thwarted for whatever reason. And things happen. It's divine providence. And it's beyond beyond your responsibility. You can't. It's beyond you. You have no idea why. Okay, we get that. And that happens. We can see when a person is being directed from above, so to speak. And that's you still clear in your values, and I'm still going someplace. I'm trying to take care of my family. You get a value right there. If you're wishy-washy, something else. Being wishy-washy doesn't work. But being strong and clear does work. And I said before, the course on values will cover all of this and a lot more. Very important to take the course on values. Now we have goals. What are goals? Goals are what you want to achieve. Now you have to answer certain things. If as a man by yourself, an unmarried man, no children, you can come and go as you please. You can be very independent of what your goals are going to be. But as a married man or a family man, you have to take into account the family as well. You brought them into your life. You created another world. So as a man of integrity, you have to think, well, how do my goals affect everybody else? So the first question to ask is, why do I want this goal? What outcomes do I want? And what would they give me and my family? What would provide me? Talking to a fellow recently who says he wanted to get a PhD. We realized the expense in this getting a PhD and the time it took and the effort it would take. And he realized the profit, what's going to get out of it is not that much of a difference. It was a more of a credibility, like the idea of having a PhD, but he can do that later. He doesn't do it right now. He's young kids in the house. He can't take that time off. He works hard enough as it is. He doesn't hardly has time in the family, and take all that time to study and study and study. It's not time for that in this stage of life. He took a different path. Later on, he can explore the PhD option. That's fine. Right now, it's not going to work. It won't benefit the family, and the drain is too much. He was a responsible man. You think, well, my goals in alignment with the goals and the desires of and needs of my family. So now, that's right. The second question is, these goals, have the goals, do they align with my values and beliefs? So we just discussed that. Are your values and beliefs in line with your goals? Can you achieve that goal and maintain your values and beliefs? And the third question is, if you have a goal you want to achieve, what difference will it make in your life and life of your family, wife and kids? What difference is it going to make in your life? Make a difference. Well, what kind of difference will it make? Interesting story, cute story from many years ago. I think the fellow was Belize or some beautiful South American country on the coast. He's a fisherman, and he's on the beach, relaxing, chilling in the shade, whatever he's drinking, just chilling and watching the waves and just being relaxed and really enjoying life. And he has time with his family and his kids, and he talks and he laughs, and they have a grand old time. So some guy from Boston walks by and says, "Hey, pal, what you doing?" "I'm a fisherman. I'm just kind of chilling." "Well, why aren't you out there working?" "Well, for what?" So, "Well, if you get out there working, you start, catching more fish, you can make more money." So, okay. And then what? "Well, eventually you buy a boat, get a nicer boat, get a couple other boats, get a small fleet, keep working up. You have a nice crew behind you, make a nice company, get a little corporation going on, make some serious bucks. You'll be doing okay. A few years, you can you have a lot of money put together." Okay. And then what? "Well, after a number of years of working hard, save a lot of money, you can then sell the company if you want, or give it to your kids, and you can retire." "Oh, so I can retire. And then what?" "Well, then you can, you do what you want. You relax on the beach, you can chill, you can talk to your family, you can, hang out." He says, "But I'm doing that already." If your goals were achieved, what difference would it make in your life, the life of your family? Okay, got our goals, got a goal. What does he want to achieve? Now, you got to see, okay, let's look at the SMART perspective. Is it SMART? S from SMART stands for specific. Is it the goal is targeted goals? But first ask, what are you doing now? What needs to change? Oh, you have a goal to do this. To do that, what are you doing that has to change? Are you willing to make that change to achieve that goal. No one's going to, as a cost, it's going to take away something from you that it's going to be difficult making a change to achieve that goal. Are you willing to do that? And measurable. Well, okay, what are you measuring? The goal is to measure what is success. First, understand, and you may take some time on this. Talk to family and friends. How do you define success? What success really mean? How do you define success? And what are the mileposts on the way to success? And how do you know, and when you're on the path to success, the indicators, what it is, then you see as attainable, is there something that I can accomplish? Can I really get this? What's the cost involved to accomplish that goal? Is it realistic? How long will it take? What's involved in getting this thing? Is it attainable? And R, smart, is realistic. Okay, can be done. Can you specify what you really need? Including time to get to each milepost and to get to that goal. You never try to reach a massive goal with one leap. You take it step by step by step. And each step you'll celebrate, God, did it. Next, yes, did it. Next, like going to school. You finish exams, finish semester. It's oh, great, we finished. Thank God we finished. Make a celebration, perhaps. The next semester starts. Same thing in life. You got your goals. You know what you're looking at. You understand what indicators of success are. You think you can do this. Can it be done? How much time do you need to get to each milepost? Is there something that is realistic? Are you able to do this without negatively impacting your family? I realize there are some times you can do something that will impact the family negatively for a short period of time. Has to be time. Has to be in a short, measurable period of time. That's tolerable. But it's going to go on and on and on and on and on. Say, for instance, you want to go to medical school. I've known women of two types with medical school, with families. One with a family and took 4 years of school, 3 years of residency. And by the time they finished, they were a wreck. The family was a mess. They're getting divorced. I mean, the kids, she got to go. She got a physician. It's great. But family is trashed. Other case was taken care of, made realistic goals and parameters, and so on and so on, and it was fine. It's still a cost. It was a challenge to the family, but a way the kids were old enough, not little ones, so the kids could be somewhat less dependent upon her. And then it was rationally planned out and rationally timed and got through it, and everyone was fine. Not ideal, but it was fine. And so can it be done? Do you have the resources of time and money to achieve this goal you want to achieve? And of course, timely. You have to know, when's it going to stop? When are you there? Right? We have heard, what does success mean to you? What does success mean? And when you reach that, what do you do then? What happens next? How do you celebrate the milestones? How do you know? You can review your progress every month. Where am I? How am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing? If you're not doing great, why not? What's going on? You're not doing great. What are your mileposts? Are you reaching them and not reaching them? Are you being smart with your goals and clear? So if you're clear and your family knows it, we're all in this thing together. And there's going to be a price to be paid. There are going to be times there's a price you pay for anything as a value. Everything of value has a cost. All right. That's just part of it. There's a price and you'll pay it, but that's okay. It's worth it because you've determined the goal end result is worth it. And you go for it. Remember, always ask, how will you know that you've achieved your goals and you have attained success? How do you know? How will you know? And what happens next? What happens next when you get that? What's going to change in your life? What's the big deal as you're going through all this work, all this hassle, all this effort? What's the big deal at the end of the line? Family is very sensitive to that. Very sensitive. They don't want a father who's not present. Because kids don't have a father that's present, it is miserable. I've dealt with hundreds and hundreds of kids, teenagers and young adults, all over the world, from all over the place. And these troubled kids all have one thing in common. Not all, at least the vast majority. They have one thing in common. Their father was not there for them. Father didn't hug them. Father didn't say he was proud of them. Didn't let them know he loves them. The father was absent. Maybe in the house, present, but he was absent. He's locked off. So when you're clear, are you going to create children that are going to be troubled because you're achieving your goal? Or is your goal something the whole family is going to celebrate and escalate from that? The whole family is going to be uplifted from that. What are you creating when you're achieving your goals? Are you really creating the goals you really want? Really want? Will the goals cost you your children? Cost you your marriage? What's it going to cost you to achieve these goals? And it may be a price you're willing to pay. There's sometimes goals are so important to a person, they're willing to pay the ultimate price. Okay, that's your choice. Can't complain about it. That's your choice. Kid, they need help from it. That's fine. But you have to make a choice. Be clear on that. Be clear before doing something that impacts the whole family unit. Other questions to ponder. Achieving goals. What's your real motivation? What do you really want? What's your motivation? I mean, what do you need to get from that? Oftentimes we depend on others to give us something that we need. You may need acceptance or love or encouragement. You need it from people, maybe from Creator. Maybe you have a way of checking in and say, you know, I need this, and to get it from a human being may not be the best way. Now, to provide it for people is great. It's wonderful to be a person, a man of insight and giving. But you need to receive, you know, from other people. Are you a needy person? Nothing wrong with having relationships. Good to have relationships that there's a give and take, and then there's all that kind of stuff. That's great. That's great. But are you needy? Is it your motivation to solve a needy thing, which ain't going to go away when you get that goal? What are you really trying to do? What's your motivation? Are you trying to satisfy the drives of the soul? Or something that you've got to do because that's what you've got to do this, and for no reason, then you got to do it? What's motivation? What do you really, really want? And if you got what you want, what difference would it make? Being clear. You want to be clear on all these things. As you achieve clarity, all these things come into line. You want to have that kind of life so you know you're not floundering around and aimlessly wandering through the jungles of life. And when you're achieving your goals, always ask, what are the costs involved? We already discussed about values. Values, there's a cost in values, but the values are so important, it doesn't matter what the cost is. But it comes to goals, what are the costs involved? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth that much effort? You really make that much of a difference? Is it really that important to you? It might be. Answer might be yes. I'm not saying yes or no, but you have to make a reckoning. Write it down, discuss it, banter it around, not kick it around a lot. If we take on something life-changing, take it on. I'm not talking about doing, going to the gym, work out half an hour every day because that's important to do as a goal to get in shape. That's a good idea. That's not a life-changing issue to come up with. But the costs involved in something, a major thing, time, money, loss of connections, it's the juice worth the squeeze. And then you ask another question you have to ask yourself. What's it costing you now to keep doing what you're doing? This is all about coaching, actually, isn't it? What's it costing you now to keep doing what you're doing? Are you unhappy because the situation is bad, or you think you'd be happier someplace else? If only this, then that. What's your goal? Is it because you think it'll be better? Because really what you are right now is not good. If you achieve something, that's great. But looking to achieve something that'll give you a sense of joy, a sense of success, and I'm real now because I did this. Really, I don't know. Think about it. You got to think about it hard. What's going to cost you to keep doing what you're doing? And what's it going to cost you to change? What are you losing? What are you gaining? Look at all the big pictures. That's how you gain clarity. That's how you do it. That's how you become a person of a man who's really steering the ship. You're guiding the ship. So goals are negotiable, unlike values, which are not negotiable. Remember, goals involve others. We discuss over, repeat, I'm going to say it over and over again. Goals involve others. You got a family, the family is involved in your goals. You have to discuss it with the family, especially with your spouse, with your wife or significant other, whoever you're living with. It involves the kids. But let's take something simple, like going on a trip. You're going to take a trip someplace. Goals have vacation. Let's all go. Let's all agree. And if you can't agree on where you're going to go, someone doesn't want to go there, you can have trouble. It can be pretty. You can be all in on the trip. It's a goal. We're going to vacation together, and we all agree. We figure it all out. It can go pretty smoothly. But if you're not in agreement with this, things make trouble. The values they get there is not negotiable, but the trip goals, great. See, when goals are agreed upon, everyone has the goals. We'll all do this. Uh-oh. You be the man. You're the man who's now going to delegate and make sure things are taken care of properly. Packing and departure train times, tickets, supplies, food, whatever, water, food, whatever it is you're doing. And you share the burden of work with everyone in the family. Of course, everyone has their jobs to do. But as the man who's the leader, who's the captain of the ship, make a list and check it off and double check everybody and ask them, check in with people. Check in. Is this done? This doesn't, everything okay? We're ready to go. Then the guy gets in the car. All right, let's go. Off we go. And you're on the trip, going someplace to the beach where you're going. Who knows where you're going out? And you look around and say, cut a piece of fruit. And oh, I forgot to pack the fruit. What do you mean? That was your job. Yeah, I forgot. Here comes the man. The man says, okay, you take responsibility whatever happens in your life. If it doesn't go right, you take the hit. If it goes wrong, you share the credit. Get this, guys. If it doesn't go right, you take the hit because you're the man, you're the leader. If things go right, you share the credit. You guys did a great job packing. We're out in time. This is wonderful. Oh, forgot something? Okay. I should have been more careful. Not respectful. I should have checked up on you more often. Don't say that. Don't try to embarrass somebody, especially in public. You always talk to people, in private, not publicly humiliate somebody. It's never a good thing to do. Publicly, probably talk to them. Meantime, you think, okay, I was not taking care of my job. I didn't, okay, checklist. Everyone is food in the car. You got the shoes, you got the water, you got this, you got that. Your job is to check, make a checklist. And so, as men, we take the hit, we take responsibility, whatever goes on. That's just the way it is. And there's all kinds of goals, non-recreational goals. We have recreational goals, trips, and buying a car, whatever it is. But maybe get a new home, a new job, a new home. Well, a new job is interesting. Get a new job, better pay. The problem is the job starts in the middle of the school year, and the kids would have to leave the school in the middle of the year where leave from their friends and their familiar areas. Maybe you have to, the whole family is uprooted and you're missing your family, extended family, cousins and aunts and uncles, relatives. You don't want to, that's a process. You got to ask, you got to talk to your wife and your kids. You got this opportunity. Now, find ways to make it work. You say, I'm sorry, this job does not go along with my values, not in alignment with my values. We have to be clear. My values are, and this job does not fit my values. A lot of money, but it doesn't fit my values. It's not going to work for me. I'd rather struggle here than suffer over there because it doesn't fit my value system. An interesting non-recreational goal is accumulating wealth. People want to have additional funds and having wealth. Nothing wrong with having wealth. Enjoy it. Great. But the problem is, the challenge is accumulating wealth a goal or is it a value? Here's the difference. If wealth is a goal, you'll achieve your wealth through values. They'll determine how you're going to achieve your wealth. If wealth is a value, you'll do whatever it takes to get that money. You'll do whatever it takes because it's the value itself. Wealth is a value. If that's a value, remember, it's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to do things you may think are not a wise thing to do, but you have to achieve fulfill your value. If it's just a goal, okay, do this way, that way, it'll work. And so it's being clear on your values to modify your goals. What we're all about. Education, learning things, or health issues. You want to be healthy. Okay, you want to go to the gym for half an hour every day? Okay, fine. But you want to go play golf for 4 hours on Sundays, that may be a problem. It may take away from your family time. Or if you want to have, I've seen many times where usually the wife is more proactive than the husband is as far as health foods and so forth. But she wants to eat healthier and provide better food, quality food for a family. And the husband, in the meantime, give me my ice cream. Get that stuff away. I want my cake and ice cream. Okay. You get a problem. You didn't share the goals. You didn't discuss the goals, how it's going to work out. So a tension arises. Rather than having harmony, you now have tension. When you have clarity, that is the key to creating harmony. Clarity, mindfulness. These are the tools to create harmonious relationships. And you have clarity, okay, with this, then work it out. You're going to have a much better relationship, much greater clarity, and much more credibility. So as we go through our options of how to be a terrific dad, respectful, mindful, and now clear. Being clear gives direction, gives understanding. It gives pride in the family and in you. And this is now you're truly on your way to being a terrific dad.